The best graphics card 2023, top GPUs for all budgets. AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX. The AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX had a lot to prove when it hit the scene at the end of 2022, but it succeeds brilliantly in being the most powerful gaming GPU on the market for under $1,000 while outperforming Nvidia's RTX 4080 overall, which costs 20% more. The new second-generation Ray accelerators in the RX 7900 XTX makes 4K gaming on ultra settings with ray tracing a reality on an AMD card, something that the last flagship AMD card, the RX 6950 XT, couldn't quite accomplish. It's not without faults, including falling behind the Nvidia RTX 4000 series in terms of ray tracing, while still beating out the RT performance of the Nvidia RTX 3090, and some uneven creative workload performance, but overall, this is the one graphics card we would recommend to just about anybody who are looking to finally upgrade their GPU after years of graphics card shortages. Specifications: Stream processors, 4864. Core clock, 1900 MHz, 2500 MHz boost. Memory, 24 GB GDDR6. Memory clock, 20 gigabits per second, 960 GB per second bandwidth. Outputs, 1x HDMI 2.1, 2x DisplayPort 2.1, 1x USB Type-C. Power connectors, 2x PCIe 8-pin. Reasons to buy.
Phenomenal performance. Well priced for a premium card. Can fit in most cases. No 16-pin connector. Is AMD no longer the king of great value GPUs? The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti threatens that claim with its price to performance ratio. One of the newer arrivals in the RTX 3000 line, this graphics card punches way above its weight class, delivering a performance that could rival the RTX 2080 Super, while keeping its price tag incredibly affordable for most people. That's with impressive ray tracing included. We've never seen 1080p gaming to be this good or this affordable. In our testing, we even found it could handle gaming in 4K, if just barely. You'll have to make some compromises on settings and skip the ray tracing. With that said, there's little else to fault with the 3060 Ti. It stays cool as a cucumber, and for those who like to display their PC's innards, is quite stylish. This is indeed the best graphics card for most people. The best graphics cards that have come out over the last couple years have had one thing in common: they're really expensive. This has a lot to do with the graphics card shortage we've all been dealing with, but it's also because Nvidia and AMD had been ignoring the budget graphics card world for too long. Luckily, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3050 is finally here. While it's way more expensive than 50 series graphics cards from Nvidia have been in the past, this GPU is much more affordable than pretty much anything else in the current generation. We were able to play just about every game out there on high settings with Nvidia GeForce RTX 3050. And esports gamers will love this card, as it is affordable-ish, and can run games like Overwatch and League of Legends without breaking a sweat. Yes, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 4090 is expensive. It also requires a 16-pin connector or adapter, and it's very, very big. But the first release from Nvidia's new 4000 series is an absolute powerhouse that can tackle anything you need it to. It is the most powerful GPU out there. In our testing, we found it to perform significantly better than the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090, with 2 to 4 times the performance in synthetic benchmarks, and up to 100% improved frame rates with some games. What's more, the included DLSS 3 might be the next revolution in gaming once it's fully utilized. That said, this is more GPU than what most people need. Creatives and those interested in playing 8K will appreciate how powerful this graphics card is. Just make sure to have a robust enough power supply and big enough case to run it. It's hard to beat the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 when it comes to performance. With a whopping 24 GB of RAM, no game or, more importantly, heavy graphics project will suffer performance issues. In fact, we were even able to get some 8K performance at 60 Fps out of the 3090. It is an incredibly expensive unit and quite large too, so it will probably be too much GPU for most users. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 is, in essence, a replacement for the Titan, so it's meant more for the creative user tackling intensive 3D and video rendering than for the avid gamer. Even so, it comes with a massive reduction in price compared to the Titan, making it a bargain for creative professionals used to shelling out a lot of money for the tools of their trade. With the release of the Nvidia RTX 4080, the RTX 3080 feels like it's outclassed, and the reality is that the RTX 4080 can run circles around the RTX 3080 it replaces. But even at its MSRP, the RTX 3080 is the better overall value by still providing phenomenal performance at a more accessible price point. And now that the RTX 4080 is on sale, the price of the RTX 3080 is dropping across the board, making it an even better deal for gamers out there who want a playable 4K gaming experience without having to spend a fortune to do so. This is also an even better deal if you're starting to dabble in some creative content like 3D modeling or video editing, and you need a more powerful GPU to handle the workflows, but you don't have a whole lot of money to spend on a professional-grade GPU like the RTX 3090 or RTX 4090. There's a new Nvidia champion in town, and it takes power and performance to an even more accessible price point. The long-awaited RTX 3080 Ti delivered the same level of performance as the RTX 3090 during our tests, an impressive feat in its own right, while dropping the price by a few $100s, making all that sheer power more accessible than ever. It continues what the RTX 3080 has started, to take 4K gaming into the mainstream arena, with its breathtaking 4K at 60 Fps performance. It also stays cool under pressure, and like many of the other 3000 series GPUs, it's quite a stunning-looking card to boot. Of course, it's still among the more expensive of Nvidia's offerings and requires a good amount of power to function properly. But this is still the best graphics card on the market right now, especially if you care about ray tracing. The best graphics card on the market for most people, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 delivers excellent performance. It's on par with the RTX 2080 Ti, even without costing an arm and a leg, bringing 4K gaming to the mainstream market for the first time. Before this card, 4K gaming was out of a lot of people's budget. The RTX 3070 does exactly that without forcing you to compromise on settings for most games. Yes, with this reasonably priced card powering your PC, you can play your favorite AAA games in 4K at high settings without its performance suffering. A cheap price tag plus 4K gaming on quality settings equals great value, and that's why the RTX 3070 tops our list. We also appreciate the fact that it doesn't have the same massive cooler that the RTX 3080, which allows it to have a smaller form factor. AMD has offerings at all price points. When it comes to its mid-range options, the AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT is the best. We found it to be an excellent 1440p graphics cards, expertly bringing Team Red's RDNA 2 architecture to a more approachable level, price-wise. That's not all. While it's not the best graphics card for it on the market, it can do ray tracing and give you a taste of it. It's an Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti rival. However, it is closer to the RTX 3070 in price, which makes it a harder sell for the more budget-conscious. Still, we cannot deny its superb 1440p performance. And if you're more of an AMD fan, it's still an excellent contender. You probably should get comfortable messing with your BIOS though. If you think AMD is still stuck in the budget and mid-range markets, think again. The AMD Radeon RX 6800 marks AMD's return to the high-end graphics card market, and it's a premium ace without the incredibly premium price. This GPU delivers a solid 4K gaming performance and impressive ray tracing at 1440p, while being a better value than its direct rival, the RTX 3070, thanks to its VRAM. We found its ray tracing to be a wash at 4K due to its lack of features, especially those around upscaling. However, if you're happy to play games at 1440 with ray tracing on, it can more than handle whatever game you throw at it. Plus, AMD's Smart Access Memory technology will make it even faster, as long as you're comfortable playing around in your BIOS.